Hi guys, Emma from Yellow Brick Roads here, helping you build your confidence whilst I am building my own. Little change of scenery here for me today because I have been changing my office around this week. I've redesigned it, I've moved everything around, it's made me feel really good, I feel super organised, and I have been going through all of my old books, like my old notebooks, my old journals, and that kind of thing. And that's something that I want to talk about today because there's a quote that I wrote in one of my journals. I was flicking through it a couple of nights ago and I wrote it in one of my journals. And when I wrote it down, I remember thinking, what does that mean? It didn't make any sense to me. When I started sort of in my journey in the business that I'm in at the minute, and I started sort of wanting to build my own business and work for myself, I used to read so much stuff and I used to write so much stuff down and I didn't have a clue at what I was really talking about or what I was reading. It's only now that I've sort of changed my mindset and the way that I think that it is starting to set in. So the quote goes like this: you've got to find a way to get out of your own way so that you can progress in life. So you've got to find a way to get out of your own way so you can progress in life. So I remember back in 2017, I went to the first seminar with the beauty business that I distribute for. And it was down this way, it was in Devon. And I went to the seminar and we all sat around a table. I'd not met any of the other distributors. Like I said, I was very new to the industry, very new to the business. And they started asking us, obviously we had to introduce ourselves, but they started asking us about what we felt we needed to be successful in the business. So what we felt we needed to have to sort of achieve. And also what we felt was stopping us from achieving. So what we felt would sort of hold us back. So lots of different people said different things. There was things like systems, there was things like commitment, there was things like motivation, and all this kind of stuff, patience, knowledge, skills. And something that I came up with that sits still with me today was I said the word belief. Now, again, I was really nervous. I was sat in this circle and I was thinking I didn't even want to stand up and introduce myself. But I said the word belief, and that basically was how I was feeling, because I didn't have belief in myself. I didn't believe that I could necessarily achieve what all of these other girls had achieved at that point. But this is one thing I think that keeps us stuck and stops us from achieving what it is that we want to achieve. So I'm going to refer to my notes because I'll go off on one. I've put, when I'm feeling stuck and I'm feeling unsure if I can make something happen, listening to the doubts and the negative thoughts and all of that kind of stuff stops us. So that's the thing that gets in our way for us achieving what it is we want to achieve. So we have a great idea, we have a goal, or like it was me, I turned up at this seminar wanting to be something or create something that I hadn't at that point. But I didn't have the belief in myself, and that's where I was getting in my own way because I wasn't able to overcome it. So how do I go about, and this is just a few tips of things that I do, how do I go about overcoming that? How do I go about pushing myself to take that next step? And there's a few things that I do. One of the first things that I do is I remind myself of why I'm doing what I'm doing. So whatever goals we set ourselves, there's a process that there's little steps that we have to take to achieve that goal. We don't just set ourselves a goal and then it happens. There's certain things that we need to change every single day to get ourselves to that point. But doubt creeps in because every single day that we're doing the things we feel are going to get us to the end goal, it may not happen. It never really happens as quick as we want it to happen. And because it's not happening and it's not happening at the speed that we want it to, we start to doubt ourselves. And a lot of the times when we feel the doubt, sometimes that stops us in our tracks and we go off onto something else. So we don't actually achieve or accomplish the task that we set ourselves. So it's really important that we focus on the reasons why we're doing what it is that we're doing. So I've put here, they do say that your why should make you cry. They talk a lot about that within the industry that I'm in. So there needs to be a real strong reason why you're doing what you're doing that's going to pull you through. I don't necessarily agree that your why should make you cry, but I do think you need to have a good enough reason for wanting to achieve the goal that you want to achieve. Otherwise, it ain't going to happen. I've put it's so important to get it done, and it will push you past your doubts. So if you've got a real strong reason for you wanting to do it, it's going to keep pushing you to take that next step, even when the doubt seeps in, or even when things aren't going your way. It's going to really push you. So one thing I always focus on is I always focus on the end result and not the day-to-day activity. Sorry, I always focus on the day-to-day activity and not the end result. I have a reason for why I'm going there, but I'm focusing on every single day, every single little step, every single little step. The second thing is I love my music, and I know music is, I find, so motivating and so inspiring. Now, I love the theatre, I love musical theatre. I absolutely love the film The Greatest Showman, and I know it sounds really ridiculous, but if I'm feeling like I'm doubting myself, I have a bouncer in my office, and I bounce up and down on my bouncer and I listen to The Greatest Showman, because it sort of puts me into the right headspace. It gets my thinking back on track. And it motivates me and pushes me forward. So if there's any songs or music, anything that is, that you listen to, that you love to listen to, any kind of music, if you are in doubt, take yourself for a walk. Obviously, I'm not saying you've all got a bouncer, but take yourself out for a walk, pop your earphones in and listen to some music, because it will certainly motivate you and inspire you to keep moving forwards, rather than focusing on the doubt, focusing on the negativity, and then just feeling like you're stuck and then you don't go anywhere. And lastly, I've put, think about your outcome. So I'm going to read this. There's something else that helps you get over the hurdles and the doubts. Ask yourself these couple of questions. What am I going to get out of it? So by doing what it is that you want to do, or achieving what it is that you want to achieve, what are you going to get out of it? And what excites you about achieving the outcome? If it doesn't excite you, then cross it off your list, because there's a good chance that you won't achieve it anyway if it doesn't float your boat. I've put, and if it's exciting and you know that if you achieve it, it's going to give you something, or it's going to enable you to do something, it's going to push you to want to do it. So it's going to push you to get out of your own way. The only reason we get stuck, and we get stuck we stop ourselves from achieving, is because we doubt ourselves. The negative thinking seeps in, and then we either just stop in our tracks, or we go on to something else, and we miss that completely. You can't beat the person that never gives up and just keeps on trying and keeps on going. So there's a couple of things that you can do if you do feel a bit stuck, and you do feel there's somewhere you want to go but you're not sure how to get there. Remind yourself of why it is that you're doing it. Think about the outcome and what that's going to give you, how you're going to feel when you achieve it. And if you're really stuck, take yourself off, stick some music on, and do a bit of exercise, because I find that certainly helps me when it comes to me doubting, or me feeling a bit stuck, and me feeling that I can't move forwards. So I put, don't wait for someone else to give you the life that you want, because it is not going to happen. I've put, remember, if it's going to be, it's up to me. You can achieve anything you want. All things are possible if you believe that they are. So have a lovely Tuesday. I am off next week to Florida, so I'm reminding myself of all of these things that I'm talking to you about on this live, because I have those doubts and I have that anxiety creeping in, but I keep telling myself, or keep asking myself, why am I doing this? What is it going to give me? How achieved am I going to feel once I accomplish it? And I know that is heads and tails above me having these little doubts and this negative thinking at times. Have a lovely day. I will catch up with you next week, but I will be talking to you from sunny Florida. Take care, guys. Have a good week. See you soon.